Police are searching for suspects in shooting of 5 teenagers in the West End. Spooky costumes take over the Humber hallways. And emotions were high at the men's basketball game, all the way down to the buzzer. Humber News starts now.
Hello, I'm Tyler Biggs, coming to you from our newsroom at Humber's North Campus. It's Thursday, October 31st. Here's what's making news this hour. 5 teens are in hospital after shooting in West End, Toronto last night. Police are looking for 3 suspects. Officers were called to a low-rise apartment complex on Clearview Heights last night after receiving reports of gunshots. Once on scene, police found 2 victims in the hallway and 2 others nearby, while the 5th individual made his own way to the hospital. All suffered from gunshot wounds, and the victims' ages ranged from 16 to 18 years old. Police Chief Mark Saunders spoke to the media following the shooting and says it was a clear targeted attack.
Specific, those people were the ones that group was targeted by suspects. They came in, and within a short period of time of coming into the building, they opened that door and fired directly at those people that were standing in the hallway.
The investigation continues as police are looking for 3 suspects. As we all know, today is Halloween, the day where people dress up, trick-or-treat, and head to Halloween-related events. Here at Humber College, you're more than welcome to dress up and take part in events the college is holding, but students are reminded that culture is not a costume. Sydney Walcott has the details.
The Lynx Cafe was one of the many areas holding a Halloween event across Humber's North Campus today for students. The first-year experience organized the event as a way to give back to the students. Event host Brajesh Patel says he participated in the event to experience Halloween.
I never been in this festival before, so I'm here to experience what is Halloween all about.
While most people chose not to dress up, there were a few who chose to embrace the Halloween spirit.
I was just thinking, not a lot of people dress up for Halloween, and so I was trying to bring that, tradition back. It's just fun.
Students around Humber College talked about why they wanted to dress up and even talked about culture appropriation.
I feel like that was kind of disrespectful in a way towards the black community and culture and all that. I just feel like it's not seen as a costume that someone could just put on and act as.
Dressing up is one of the many things that Halloween is all about, but just remember that culture is not a costume. Please be respectful so that everybody will be able to enjoy the day. For Humber News, I'm Sydney Walcott.
Halloween has become political on the other side of the world, as protesters in Hong Kong set out to make their voices heard. The streets of Hong Kong have been in conflict for the past 5 months, and today is no different, except today is Halloween. Protesters are ignoring the recent ban on masks as they set out to march in the Party District. The district is busy, especially on a night like Halloween, as patrons flock to bars and restaurants to celebrate. Halloween masks are not part of the current mask ban, so there may be some confusion about who's who for police. Authorities have stationed some 3,000 riot officers to keep the peace. However, tear gas was thrown into the streets. No word as of yet on any arrests. Don't blame Brexit for his exit. The Speaker of the British House of Commons, John Bercow, officially stepped down today, ending his 10-year term. Bercow has spent the last decade refereeing debates and procedural disputes between bickering lawmakers. His bellowing put-downs and calls for order quickly made him a notable figure to the British Parliament and a star on YouTube.
Order, I say to the Chancellor of the Duchy that when he turns up at our children's school as a parent, he's a very well-behaved fellow. He wouldn't dare behave like that in front of Colin Hall. And I don't want
Bercow's departure was announced back in September and keeps with British tradition that a speaker shouldn't serve too many terms. Bercow was emotional during the announcement, in which he thanked his friends and family for all they've done.
My Buckingham constituents, and above all, my wife Sally and our 3 children.
Bercow's successor has not been chosen, but it is likely Sir Lindsay Howell's seat to lose. Howell has been Deputy Speaker since 2010. Footage released from the Pentagon yesterday shows the raid that led to death of Islamic State leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. The grainy video shows American military approaching the compound that was destroyed in the raid. U.S. forces used multiple types of missiles and bombs to lay waste to ISIS forces and the compound that was holding al-Baghdadi. The operation was led by U.S. Central Commander Kenneth McKenzie Jr. At a news conference, McKenzie told the media al-Baghdadi's last moments.
He crawled into a hole with 2 small children and blew himself up while his people stayed on the ground. So you can deduce what kind of person it is based on that activity. So that would be just my empirical observation of what he did. We believe Baghdadi actually may have fired from his hole in his last moment.
McKenzie said anyone who came out of the building was checked for weapons and explosives and removed away from the immediate area. People wearing suicide vests who approached the raid force and didn't respond to warning shots or Arabic commands to stop were fired upon. U.S. President Donald Trump told the media how al-Baghdadi acted before his death.
He was whimpering, screaming, and crying, and frankly, I think it's something that should be brought out.
However, McKenzie said he couldn't confirm Trump's account. The raid force had no confirmed casualties. Currently, no successor has been named for ISIS. The House Democrats passed a resolution today outlining the next phase of the impeachment inquiry into U.S. President Donald Trump. The 232 to 196 vote passed nearly along party lines with no Republicans voting for the resolution. This resolution makes it possible for lawmakers to vote on matters relating to the Trump impeachment process. Trump blasted the impeachment inquiry on Twitter just after the vote passed, calling it the greatest witch hunt in American history. Catalan independence protesters took to the streets of Barcelona again today. Catalonian students blocked the streets of Barcelona, marching for their country's independence. Students camped out with messages asking Spain Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez to sit and talk about political issues. Catalonia has been fighting for their independence from Spain since 2017, with 9 of their politicians being imprisoned for encouraging the protests this year. The politicians are facing up to 13 years in prison, which caused the Catalan supporters to take violent actions against the protest. Prime Minister Sanchez took part in the protest supporting Catalonia, but did not answer the phone calls from Catalonian leaders when the protest became violent, sparking the sit and talk message. All eyes are on Spain as the general election takes place in November. California firefighters continue to battle fast-moving flames while hundreds of thousands of residents have been forced to evacuate. The Easy Fire started this morning in Simi Valley is causing a new round of evacuations in the area. 10,000 homes and buildings received evacuation orders, and over 600 firefighters are battling the blaze.
In the mandatory evacuation zone, and you're still there watching this, you're an idiot. Get the hell out.
At this moment, the largest active wildfire, called the Kincaid Fire, has burned more than 76,000 acres since last week. The Getty Fire in Los Angeles has destroyed at least 8 homes since its start on Monday. The governor of California says the state is experiencing near historic wind events, resulting in a statewide emergency declaration. While the cause of the fire is still under investigation, the strong winds are expected to continue into Thursday, leaving people threatened by fast-moving flames. At least 70 people are dead and 40 injured in a massive fire on a Pakistani train. According to the Minister for Railways, the fire was caused by the explosion of a gas canister that was used by passengers to cook breakfast. The fire destroyed 3 of the train's carriages. The train was in the south of Punjab and is on its way to Rawalpindi, with many people going to a religious conference. Injured passengers were gathering next to the railway before they were shifted to a hospital, according to the government minister. The minister says people sneaking stoves onto trains is a common problem. However, several survivors told media they believed the cause was from a short circuit on the train's electrical system. We are going to take a quick break, still ahead in sports, but first, Kavan has the preview with our 3-day forecast.
Tyler, Halloween is set to be dark, stormy, and pouring heavy rain on trick-or-treaters. Be sure to wear coats, ponchos, or plastic covers for costumes or reflective gear. We'll have more for you after the break.